Joyce Palmer provides wisdom on wealth, empowering women to be proactive and make safe, smart, and simple financial decisions. Welcome to Proactive Woman, helping create financial legacies for ladies. Oh, and men too.
And welcome back into another edition of Proactive Woman, creating financial legacies for ladies and men too. I am Peter Rashan, and I am privileged to be joined by Joyce Palmer, founder, CEO at JP Financial Group, LLC, back once again as our financial fitness coach. And we always appreciate the input and insight and guidance, Joyce. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yep. Well, on today's program, we're gonna tackle a big topic. This is one on a lot of people's minds. Actually, I'd rather it not be. To tell you the truth, there's one thing that I do understand about taxes. Our topic for the day is that I'd like to pay as little as possible. That's what I know about them. Other than that, I know they're pretty complicated, and I'd rather have somebody else handle them.
Taxes is definitely the buzzword. Will be the buzzword. It has been a buzzword for a while. Taxes. As we go into 2021, a new president, a new agenda. We know that taxes will be on the forefront of everyone's mind, everyone's conversation. The pandemic and how do we pay for this pandemic? We are in a low tax environment today, whether we realized it or not, but taxes is definitely a hot topic.
So as we're working and saving money, we have some choice and decision over how and when we choose to pay our taxes, correct?
Correct. We do now. Yes.
We do now. And that can change. That's kind of an important point to note, right? That can change at
Right.
literally any time.
Exactly.
So
Taxes we do right now.
How are you seeing most people choosing to handle taxes, specifically with their saving for the future and for retirement?
How are most people handling taxes? That's a great question. In the practice in the office, when we're meeting with clients, when we ask the question first about taxes, this gloom comes over their face and it's panic mode and it's stress immediately. And the question comes up, well, what do you think taxes are going to do? Do you think they're going to go up or do you think they're going to go down? And 99% of the time, the response is taxes are going to go up. So if taxes are going to go up, and that is a certainty, and that is what we strongly believe, what kind of things can we be doing now to protect ourselves, protect our money from being taxed heavily and going into the future? So tax planning, tax preparation, strategies to maximize a low tax environment that we're in now. All of those are the buzzwords and the conversations that we're having. How do we maximize the fact that we're in a low tax environment now? We believe tax rates are going to go up. What do we need to be doing with our monies, with our retirement savings, with our money under the mattress? What do we need to be doing now to hedge off those taxes?
Now, Joyce, I completely concur. I agree. I believe that taxes probably are going to go up into the future. But yet most of us are saving for retirement in these tax deferred accounts. We're waiting to pay taxes later. Isn't that a little conflicting? Shouldn't we maybe rethink what we've been taught and what we've been told?
You're right. We're 90% of most people's retirement monies are locked in, or shouldn't say lock in, but close to being locked in. They're in vehicles where it's tax me later. And if we believe tax rates are going to go up and our entire retirement portfolio or a good portion of that portfolio is in IRAs, 401ks, 403bs, tax deferred plans where you are going to pay the taxes later when you start to withdraw that money, then we are definitely in need of some strategies, some ways that we can start to transition some of that money into a place where we pay the taxes and get them out of the way and start transitioning that. So a big portion of what we share with individuals is we need to have a transition plan, to start transitioning some of your money that's never been taxed to where it's taxed so that you don't have to worry about taxes later.
So there are
Because you're gonna do them,
strategies.
yeah.
There are strategies available then, Joyce, that can help us, even if we've already got a large tax deferred balance, to control that and minimize that tax liability.
There are strategies that we can definitely use to avoid paying taxes on that money at a higher tax rate later. Roth IRAs have been around for a while, and most people are a little bit familiar with those Roth IRAs. Cash value life insurance, I like to say that's probably one of the best kept secrets as it pertains to tax efficiency planning. At JP Financial Group, when we roll out a proactive plan, we look at all of those vehicles. We look at not just the Roth, but we look at using cash value life insurance. We look at maximizing every vehicle you can to minimize paying as much in taxes later. So if we can at least start transitioning a portion of that monies while tax rates are low, so that when you get ready to retire and you start drawing down out of those accounts, you're not getting slammed with taxes on all of it.
I've heard it's not what you make, it's what you keep. And for me personally, Joyce, taxes have been the biggest item standing in between the two. And if we're saving in those tax deferred accounts, that balance that we see, it's not all ours. That's partly the IRS's. We've deferred paying them, and eventually they're going to want their pound of flesh. In fact, taxes are probably one of our largest known expenses into retirement. We've got to control that a little better than we have been taught to do.
We do. And you're right when you say that taxes is what stands between most people in having a happy, successful retirement. Is, how much of that am I going to have to split with Uncle Sam? And the question is, we don't know. We don't know what tax rates are going to be. So it's an unknown. So it makes it difficult sometimes to plan for that because it is an unknown. But if you're looking at $1 million in your portfolio, there's a good chance that 30, 40, even maybe 50% of that portfolio is not yours yet.
Wow.
It's not yours. It's going to be shared.
Can I say this though, Joyce?
Mm-hmm.
If we continue to defer, that tax bill is unknown. But what I've heard you say already is that if we do some proactive planning, we can actually make that variable a known, and we can control it. It sounds like.
That's correct. We can take that unknown variable and we can control it. And we can do that by using strategies now to start repositioning some of those funds, some of that monies into where we, go ahead and get the taxes done now. We know we have to do the taxes. It's not that we can get around it completely, but we certainly can minimize how much we have to give. So those are the strategies that you want to be looking at now. 5 years out, 4 years out, 6 years out. The longer you are out from your target retirement date and you start to be proactive women we are, as long as you're being proactive, you can start transitioning that monies so that when you get to retirement, you're not sitting there looking at, splitting half of your portfolio with Uncle Sam.
I've heard you say it before. While it's never too late, it's also never too early. So the sooner the better in getting planning and understanding that taxes are that bill that we are going to have to face eventually. And the longer you delay that pain, it could be long-term pain. It could be greater pain. Albert Einstein said the most powerful force on the planet was the power of compounding interest. And I believe the IRS was paying attention when they decided to let us defer and delay that tax bill. Now, Joyce, you've talked about the proactive financial blueprint that you design there at JP Financial Group. As part of the spending plan component of that, do you help people talk about and address their tax liability?
Our JP Financial Group proactive blueprint does exactly that. It's a holistic approach to your planning. So it examines what you're doing on a spending side, cash flow. It goes in detail on the taxes. We look at what your tax liabilities are today. We look at what your risk is as far as what portion of your portfolio is going to be taxed later. And we start strategizing on ways to start again transitioning some of those monies out. And as painful it is, you're going to do the taxes, yes, but it's certainly better to do it now than later. And that's a tough conversation, but we have that conversation, and then we start strategizing and making that, planning process done.
Well, here's the simple question. Would you like to control your tax bill? Would you like to pay less in taxes? If so, you need that JP Financial Group proactive financial blueprint. And they help savers and investors, those who are serious about their financial future. You, ladies and gentlemen, if you are in the retirement community or you're retirement minded, get that plan put together. And they do that on a complimentary, no cost, no obligation basis. It's a physical document you can get in your hands. A snapshot of where you are today, a discussion of goals, writing them down, helping you increase the likelihood that you actually achieve them, and then simple, easy to understand language, steps and actionable items, a timeline of what you should be doing to achieve those goals, and certainly managing your taxes. That's one of them. Pick up the phone if you'd like that JP Financial Proactive Financial Blueprint. They'd love to hear from you and help you put that together. 704-543-6269. 704-543-6269, 704-543-6269. You go online, jpfinancialgroupllc.com. Lots of additional resources there, certainly tools and things that can be food for thought for discussion on what you should be doing to achieve your goals in the future, especially if that includes paying a little less in tax throughout the years. Joyce, always a pleasure. We appreciate your input and always great information, important discussions that we have here on Proactive Women. And we hope that we can help more create those financial legacies for ladies and men too.
That's right. Absolutely. Thank you. Enjoy.
Thank you for listening to Proactive Women, helping create financial legacies for ladies. Oh, and men too. Be sure to visit jpfinancialgroupllc.com. Call Joyce at 704-543-6269 or email Joyce at jpfinancialgroupllc.com. You can find us on all your favorite platforms. Be sure to subscribe to hear more proactive wisdom on wealth from Joyce Palmer and JP Financial Group.
The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only, without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for a particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature and not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs. Early withdrawals may subject the owner to penalties, fees, or taxes.